how much money I will be able to accumulate throughout the span of my life. This is the most important, fundamental, multi-million dollar question everybody has in their mind. Either you are a student of astrology or you are consulting a professional astrologer, or you are just a normal man living somewhere in the world, but somewhere in your subconscious mind, this question is always emerging. What level of wealth accumulation I can see in my life during the whole span of my life? And what are those planets which will help me accumulate wealth versus what are those planets which will take my wealth away? As always, this is Astrologer Mohnish, and thank you for watching my videos about Vedic astrology. Now, my dear friends, as I always say, I am here to make your life easy without any analysis paralysis. In less than 10 minutes, you will be able to see what are the planets which are going to give you the money and what are the planets which will going to take the money away from you, unless you come and talk to me. So, in the classic, traditional Vedic astrology, the wealth is seen by the certain combination of the planets. That's called the yogas. And you might have already heard about it or might have already seen in your chart how many Raj yogas you have, how many Gajkesari yogas you have, how many Adi yogas you have, how many Lakshmi yogas you have, so on and so forth. But I guarantee you open your chart in Jagannath Hora and see how many yogas you have out of these classic yogas. Some of you might have the yogas which are fructifying the events and making you wealthy, but majority of people, despite of having the yogas, they are still struggling in their life. Now, the classic astrologers will say it could be the degree of the planets. They might be sitting at 0 to 5 degrees or above 28, 29 degrees that they are losing powers and they are not being able to give you the desired results. Or some astrologers will say that avastha, the state the planet are in. They could be in infant state, the dead state, the adolescent state, or what are the mood they are in. They are in a sleeping mood, they are in a happy mood, they are in an unhappy, sad mood. So that's the reason, so on and so forth. You're not being able to see the events being fructifying in your life and giving you the gains financially what you deserve, despite of having all these yogas. So to make things simpler, let's do one thing. Let's open the chart of one of the most wealthiest person and see what does the classic yoga tells about him. And then I will also show you the technique I use to see what are the financial gains you will get in your life and when. And that's a very simple technique. You use that technique on any chart you open, your chart, your family member's chart, your friend's chart. You will be able to instantly get to know whether this person is going through the right time of his life in terms of progressive career and financial gains or not. Will these planets, there are 9 planets including Rahu and Ketu, how many are out of those planets are showing that the person will have huge financial gains? So without further talks, let's see the chart of one of my favorite person, and that is Mr. Bill Gates. So this is the chart of my favorite person, Bill Gates, the founder of Microsoft. So if we go through the traditional astrology rules, we see certain yogas happening in his chart. And to know those yogas, all you have to do is come to the strength and you highlight this window, other strength, and you see these are all the yogas, combinations of certain planets sitting together or respecting each other is shown and highlighted here. So if you see he has 2 Raj yogas, 1 Vipreet Raj yoga, and you can read its description here. A lot of Raj Sambandha yogas. It shows power, authority, wealth, successful, high achievements. He also has the Adi yoga, which is also one of the very important yoga in classic Vedic astrology. Now, the point is, when you will open your chart, you will also see there are many Raj Yogas forming. And you might also see that if you open 4, 5, 10 charts, many people in your friend group or in your friend circle has very good yogas. Raj Yogas, Adi Yogas, Gaj Kesari Yogas, but they are still struggling in their career, struggling in their life. Why? And then you also see that you have certain yogas, but you're not being able to get the results of those yogas. So if we use this traditional methods, it's very hard to figure out that why yogas are not being activated, when will they be activated, what are the prerequisites of this, so on and so forth. Now the classic astrologers, they say that you always see the degree of the planet which is going to give you the yogas. So if I go and see the degrees of the planets for Bill Gates, and you see here the major planet, the Jupiter, which is the major planet for all wealth accumulation. Jupiter is the natural significator of wealth accumulation in your life. Jupiter is only 4 degrees. It's in the infant state. Then how come Bill Gates became Bill Gates? If you see Saturn 28 degrees, Rahu 26 degrees, Ketu 26 degrees, they all are almost on the verge of moving into a different sign. And this is called that their degrees are showing that they are old in their state. They are having no power. This is what traditional classic astrology shows. And then again, why Bill Gates become Bill Gates? If these are the rules. You stick to one rule. Don't change the rules. For one chart, you will take one rule. For second chart, you will take another rule. For third, you will take another rule. That is not astrology. That is not a science. That's just entertainment. The role of science is to define the rules, and you take that rule and apply on any chart. The result should be same. Either you will gain the wealth or you will lose the wealth. You cannot change the rules based on the trial and error methods, what many classic astrologers does. If your Raj Yogas are not activated, they will say the degrees are low. If you say the degrees are okay, then they will say that the state the planet is in bad state. And how to see the state? You will go to the strength and you see these are the state of the planets. Sleeping, dreaming, awake, sleeping, dreaming. And mood of the planet. This is distressed, crippled, mischievous, sad. So if these are the mood and these are the alertness of the planets for Bill Gates, I don't have to say anything more than it. How come Bill Gates become Bill Gates? If this is the rule we're going to follow and see why the wealthiest person on this planet became so wealthy despite of all the planets are showing the bad mood and the bad alertness. And they are in the age of young, adolescent, infant, dead, infant. You see Jupiter is infant, Venus is dead, Saturn is dead, Rahu is infant, Ketu is infant, Mercury is adolescent. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 planets out of 9 are showing no power. They are either infant or dead. Doesn't make sense. So this is where you lead to analysis paralysis. Now what is the best way to know whether the planet is going to give you the wealth or not? So in Vedic astrology we have 9 planets, simple, including Rahu and Ketu. All you have to do is to see which are the planets are showing the combination of wealth. Whenever they will be activated during Mahadasha, Antardasha and Prantardasha, you will get opportunities to make wealth. And how to do that? It's very simple. Make things simple, logically and easy to understand, and that is what the role of science is. And that is why I say that the astrology is a science, but if you adopt it as a science, not as a subjective matter of analysis and paralysis. Okay, so let's go back to this chart. So all we need to do is first understand what are the houses which gives you wealth. House number 2 is your financial house, house of your finance, wealth, gems, jewelry, stones, gems, jewelry, bank balance, and your complete accumulation of wealth. Sixth is your gains, because 7 is your opponent, and the loss of opponent is always your gain. So house number 2, house number 6, house number 10, and house number 11. These are the prime house of wealth. 2 is your first house of your wealth. 6 is your income, what you gain when your opposite loses. So your opposition is your 7th house. And opposition will lose because the 12th house from the 7th is 6th house. So that is your gain. 10th is your status, your karmas, your career. From your career, from your karmas, you are achieving something and acquiring the wealth. And 11th is your manifestation of your desire. So house number 2, 6, 10, and 11. This is showing wealth. So I'm going to write it here so that I'm not covering the screen. So if I go here and I see, let's write it here. So 2, 6, 10, 11. That means wealth. And 5, 8, 12 means loss. Why 5, 8, 12 loss? If house number 2, 6, and 11, 2, 6, and 11 is your gain, your opponent is this person. The 7th house is your opponent, the person whom you were dealing with, the person whom you interact with, the person whom you do business with, or anybody whom you are having any kind of a deal. That is this house 7th. So your gain 2, 6, 11 is your gain. This person's gains are second from 7th house is 8th house. 6th house from 7th house is 12th house. And 11th house from 7th house is 5th house. So this person's gains are your losses, which are shown in house number 5, 8, 12. Very simple logic. Understand this. No analysis paralysis. Your gains are 2, 6, 11. So your opponent gains are also 2, 6, 11. So your opponent's 2, 6, 11 houses are your 5, 8, 12 house. Simple. And all we now need to see is which planet is showing this combination and which planet is showing this combination. Out of 9, how many shows gain and how many shows losses? Easy, easy, easy. And I'm going to show you how to do that. Come to the KP tab, go to the basics, come to the KP tab. Let's see Sun. To evaluate the results of Sun, you have to take Sun as a planet, the nakshatra, again interference pattern. Nakshatra changes the result of the planet. Classic astrologers, primitive astrologers, they only use nakshatra to predict rainfalls and monsoons. And that is where the whole problem comes. They are not understanding how the subatomic particle works at the quantum physics level. Nakshatra creates an interference pattern which changes everything what planet is showing. So to know what Sun is going to give you, Sun, Rahu and Saturn. To know what Moon is going to give you, take Moon, Saturn and Rahu. Nakshatra, and then the 9th division of Nakshatra, which is Sublord. And I will talk about Sublord. I have spoken about it in the past also. But understand this Sublord is the most important factor because this divides the Nakshatra into 9 unequal halves to get you the microscopic view of exactly what is happening at your subconscious level, conscious level, and in the physical level. So to know the results of Sun, Rahu and Saturn, all you do is you take a sheet and write it down. So I have written it down here. So Sun is showing this combinations. And how did I come to this one? Go to the houses, this tab. And all you have to do is first see where the Sun is sitting. Sun is in the 5th cusp, 5th house. And the Sun is Lord of Leo, and Leo is the 4th house. So 5 is where Sun is sitting. You see Sun is sitting in 5th house. And the Lord of 4th house. So don't look at here, okay? Because Jagannath Hora does not show the exact Narayana Bhava Chalit, that the The Leo is actually covering this house also and this house also. But here in this table, you can show it is showing us. It is showing that the fourth cusp is actually Leo. And here it is showing Virgo, which is wrong. So this is the right one. So read this table. Don't get confused with this chart. Now, Sun has a nakshatra, which is Rahu. And for Rahu and Ketu, the rules are where they are sitting. So Rahu is sitting in house number 6. So I've written 6 here. Rahu is sitting in the zodiac sign of Scorpio. So Scorpio is ruled by Mars. So we'll take Mars also here. So if you see Mars is sitting in 4th house. So 4th is here. And the Lord of 11th house, which is Aquarius. So we take 6, 4 and 11. So Rahu and Ketu, which house Rahu is sitting and which sign Rahu is sitting, we have to take that Lord also. And who is expecting Rahu or Ketu? Nobody is expecting Rahu. If somebody else is expecting Rahu, we have to take that planet also here. These are the special rules for Rahu and Ketu. And finally, Saturn as a sub-lord. So Saturn is sitting in, so where is Saturn? Saturn is sitting in 5th house. Again, 5 is here. Saturn is a lord of Capricorn, which is 9, 8, and Aquarius 10. So 8, 9, 10. So Saturn is signifying all these houses, 5, 8, 9, 10. So ultimately what we get is, we get this script of Sun. Sun is showing us a combination of 5, 4, 6, 4, 11, and 5, 8, 9, 10. Make this script for all the planets you have. All the planets. Do it for Moon, do it for Venus, do it for Mercury, do it for Jupiter, do it for Saturn, do it for Rahu and Ketu also. And the technique is, all you have to do is, I know you don't have a software which can do it for you, which I have and I will show you, but all you do is take the planet, take its nakshatra and take its sublord up till this level. Right here. So you have to know Sun results will be given by Rahu and Saturn. Moon's results are going to come from Moon, Saturn, Rahu. Mars is Mars, Moon and Saturn, and so on and so forth. So these are the 3 things what you need to know for each planet before you calculate or know that what are the houses these will activate. Now I use this software, a professional software, which is showing everything here what you are going to create manually. This is again Bill Gates chart. Same thing. You see here, Sun is Rahu and Saturn. Planet, nakshatra and sublord. Ketu, planet, nakshatra and sublord. Moon is planet, nakshatra and sublord. And you can see that Moon is in the nakshatra of Saturn when he was born. And if I put my cursor here, Moon is, you see Uttar Bhadra, which is a nakshatra ruled by Saturn. Ketu is in the nakshatra of Mrigashirisha, which is ruled by Mars. And the sublord is Jupiter. And you see here the same information here. So this is what you need to interpret. Manually you do it using Jagannath Hora, or because I know this is a professional software which I use, you may not have it, but this is what's showing you the complete significators of the planets. And you can do the same thing using the Jagannath Hora, which I've shown you here step by step, and I've created one for you, and you can follow my techniques to create the same significator for yourself, unless I find a free software for you. So what did I tell you in the beginning? That the houses which show you the combination of money are 2, house number 2nd, 6, 10, and 11. Now let's read how many planets in Bill Gates' chart is showing us this combination. The whole combination or the part of this combination. Ketu is showing 6, 11, gains. Venus is showing nothing. Sun is showing 6, 11, gains. Moon is showing 2, 6, 11. And 10 is also there, very good gains. Mars is showing 2, 6, 11, 10, 10, very, very good gains. Rahu is showing 6, 11, very good gains. Jupiter is showing 2 and 10 gains, but not 11 is not here, so not very strong, but still the gains are here because 2, 10 is still financial gains. Saturn is again 10, but it's not showing the 2 or 6 and 11, so I would say it's neutral. And Mercury is showing 6, 11, very good gains. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 planets out of 9 are showing extreme gains. Positive sign for wealth accumulation. Now, what are the signs for losing wealth? I'm going to highlight it with blue. House number 5, 8, and 12. How many planets are activating these? 5, 8, and 12. Only Saturn, 5, 8, and 12. Other than this, no planet is showing the combination of 5, 8, and 12. This is showing 5, 12. So 5 is your love, your speculation, your children, your expenditure, your expenses. But unless 8 is joined, there is no pain. You are not losing anything which is giving you pain, like miserable conditions or bankruptcy. So 511 is 512 is your conscious expenditure or conscious investments in the matters of 5th house, but it's not loss. Loss is when you see 5, 8, and 12 all together combined. So understand this, only Saturn has this combination, and other planets, there are no 5, 8, 12, there is no 5, 8, 12, there is no 5, 8, 12, there is no 5, 8, 12. So this is what you need to see in your chart also. How many planets are showing 5, 8, and 12, and how many are showing 6, 10, 2, 6, 10, 11. And if you see both are being visible in one of the planets, that means that planet will give you the money and will also take the money back. If you see the planets are only showing 5, 8, and 12 with no 11 and 10, that means that planet is going to take the money out of you, like Saturn in Bill Gates' chart. And if we see Bill Gates is going under the dasha of Mars and Jupiter, and you see Mars is very, very favorable for Bill Gates. He's still making money at this age, a lot of money. And Saturn is going to take the money away. So whenever the Saturn comes into the Antardasha, he will lose something, but major period is being dictated by the Mahadasha planet. And if the Mahadasha is showing the wealth, even if with a small turbulence, he will not be able to lose much of his wealth. When he will lose his wealth is a time when the Saturn will begin as a Mahadasha Lord. So open your charts and do what I have already shown you to do that. So in the Jagannath Hora, I know that's a software you have. Make a sheet like this of all the planets and then see what combination you get. How many planets out of 9 are giving you 2, 6, 10, 11, or 6, 11, or 2, 10, or 2, 6, 10, and versus what are showing you 5, 8, and 12. All 3. Or 8 and 12 only. These 2 are the combinations which shows losing wealth with a pain. The money is going out of you and giving you the pain. Bankruptcy, problem, issues are all seen from these house combinations. You apply this technique in any chart you open. Open the chart of your family members, your friends, your own self. Nothing will change. The rule will remain the same. I'm not asking you to go and see the avasthas, the state of the planets, the degree of the planets, anything. Just apply this rule and you will get accurate, stunning results. And then see what Mahadasha you're going through. Is that Mahadasha promising you the wealth or not? If not, then you know what to do. Do not plan any big investments because anything where you're going to put your money in is going to evaporate if 5, 8, 12 or 8, 12 is there. And if you don't see any combination, let's say there's no 5, 8, 12 and there's no 2, 6, 10, there's some 3, 4, 5, 9 somewhere scattered, just a neutral period. You are not going to make any money and you're not going to lose any money. You're just going to be floating into the same river or the same waves. which is also a sign of doing nothing, getting nothing, no progress, nothing. So I hope you enjoyed this video, my dear friends. And as always, reach out to me if you have questions, concerns, or if you want me to read your chart, I'll be more than happy to do that. You can check out my website and book my time, book my services, and I can assure you that will be the best investment of your life. I do a live, real one-on-one sessions with my clients, and I show them what exactly I'm looking. I share my screen over the Zoom invite. I show you exactly the methods I use. If you're an astrologer, if you go to an astrologer and that astrologer cannot show you what is the techniques he's using, then what is he trying to hide from you? And if that astrologer does not bring the nakshatra into the picture, then it's all entertainment science, because then he's only using nakshatras to predict rainfalls. And in Vedic astrology, without nakshatra, nothing works. Quantum physics, without interference pattern, nothing works. Science, logic, interpretation, analysis, skills, everything should be logical, one step. No analysis paralysis. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave me your comments, feedbacks, emails, and reach out to me. Again, this is Astrologer Mohnish. I wish you all the best. Please stay happy and please stay safe. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next video.